What's going on, guys? So today we're taking a quick look at one of the newer Thrunite lights that I've been enjoying. This is the TT20, and this thing is pumping out 2526 lumens on turbo, which is ridiculous. I mean, this thing is just ridiculously bright. This has a good combination of throw and spill, all right? So it's not like that, you know, dead-on hot spot that's going to travel, 20 miles. But it's not the wall of light either. It's somewhere in between, which is pretty versatile for, I would say, mostly outdoor use. Now, of course, any flashlight that has lower modes that are super, super bright, you can use inside as well. But for like those higher lumens, anything over like 500 lumens, I really feel like people are using those outside more than they're using them inside. All right, in a normal size house outside of mansions and stuff, I can't see why you'd want so much light for an indoor flashlight. At some point, things get so bright that it literally becomes, I mean, look at my hand as the camera is trying to adjust that. Can you see any detail in my hand? No, of course not. And there you go. See, the whole camera went black for a second. So yeah, the lower light modes are great for inside, for detail. Again, if you're looking under a couch because you dropped something, looking behind a desk or something like that, that's when that low light mode is very handy. But when you step outside at night and you just want to, light up the street, light up your yard, light up the woods, whatever the case may be, that's when you want those ridiculous outputs. 2500 plus lumens, that's crazy. So where are we getting that power from? Right? Well, first off, the LED that's in here, and I showed it to you, not that it matters all that much because usually it's just it's a light emitting diode. That's what an LED is. So it's just a little yellow block, but I figured I'd show you anyway. In this case, it is a SST70 LED. You can see we have a completely smooth reflector, okay, that aids in the throw of the light. But again, this isn't just a concentrated beam like you might think just by looking at that head. You get plenty of spill, which gives you the area light as well. So this light is pretty interesting in that we have a just on-off button in the back. Okay, momentary on is just a half press. Let me move my hand out of the way. And then of course, you click it down for constant on. Now the side button here is for the ramping function. Okay, instead of having set different modes, you turn it on, push and hold, and it'll ramp in one direction. Okay, it'll blink when it's all the way at the end. So as it goes down, it blinks. So this is the lowest setting. Besides the actual moonlight, which we still have here, long press is going to give you moonlight. That is of course the very lowest. But yeah, it ramps. So push and hold, it'll go the other direction. And it's just, I really like a ramping function. I think it's really cool. Most times, for me and for you, we're going to want as much light as possible, right? That's why you buy a more expensive flashlight. And speaking of which, this is about $70. They do make this in red, which is interesting. Kind of going, the Olight route in that you're offering some colors, which is nice. People like colors, all right? So I think it's like an extra $6. So you're looking at like $76 as opposed to 70. Just if that floats your boat, just nice to have a little pop of color every now and again. So if you want a red one for Christmas coming up, you can pay a little extra for that. But anyway, the point was that if you're going to spend something like $70 for a flashlight, you want a ton of light, right? The idea is that when you turn a flashlight on, you just want it as bright as possible. You want to see what's going on. But there are those situations, albeit rare, where that light is just too much. Again, I just dropped something on the table. I don't need 2500 plus lumens to find what I dropped. Okay, that's when you'd want these ramping functions. And what's interesting with the ramping function is that you literally push and hold until you get to a perfect light, and then you just let go. And then that's the light you have. It's perfect for that situation. As opposed to maybe, cycling through preset modes. Now, some people like the preset modes. That's cool too. To be honest, I rarely use them. Okay, when I'm using a flashlight, generally speaking, and there's always exceptions, but more times than not, it's either as bright as it gets, or it's really, really low because I don't want all that extra light. I just want to look in one specific little area where I don't want so much light that's going to bounce back at me and make it harder to see because we're using flashlights to make it easy to see. So pretty simple concept. Battery choice on this one. Pop it open. You can see we have a 5000 milliamp hour 21700. All right, so not the 18650 a lot of people are used to. Just something to keep in mind there. All right, this does have a charging port on it on the back. Have charged this a couple times. All right, it is nice to note that the battery is removable. This is something that people talk about a lot lately is, you're buying a more expensive flashlight, again, $70 to $76. you know, you want longevity. Now, I happen to think that flashlight technology is something that gets dated. It's kind of like an old TV. You know, when you buy a TV, you might spend, you know, $500–600 on a TV, and you want to have it for as long as possible. But, you know, realistically, do you want it 10 years from now? It's going to be outdated. You're probably going to get a better TV, a bigger TV, you know. With flashlights, some people understand that, you know, a modern flashlight is good for 2 or 3 years, and then maybe you want something brighter and better and more capable. But other people really want to make sure that their investment will last forever. Now, it doesn't matter how bright or how not bright a flashlight is, it'll be a flashlight forever, as long as you can remove that battery. But there are rechargeable lights that have internal batteries, and if you cannot remove that, it has a lifespan. Eventually, charging it, you know, using it, charging it, using it, eventually it's not going to charge anymore. And then you just have a useless flashlight. So having a removable battery is important for some people out there. So just definitely worth noting. Charging cable, which works well, charges a couple times in testing. Does have the double pocket clip, okay, so you can, you know, use it in either direction. Pop this out here. Show you it does have a sheath, which I did not use, but it is totally adequate if you want to actually carry it on the waist. Accessory pouch, okay, which has our spare button in case that rips, a couple O-rings, and of course our wrist lanyard, which, let me know in the comments, do you use the wrist lanyard? I have before, but not very often. It's a little bit more of a rarity. So I just want to get you this paperwork real quick, because I'm sure it has the rundown on outputs and run times, which some of you guys want to know. The technical specs, and just make sure I have my English section here. So you can pause your screen right there, and you can see the tech specs. All right, turbo, the infinite high, infinite low, again, that's just the ramping. All right, Firefly and strobe. There is a strobe mode. So let me show you that real quick. Let me back this up. So if you want to get to strobe mode, it is 3 clicks on the side button, okay, not the tail clicky. So it's 1, 2, 3. All right, then we have our strobe, which of course is very effective to disorientate man or beast. And I say that because I'm a little less worried about scaring off people and more so animals, okay? It is extremely effective. If you're in some situation where there's a dog or a wild animal that might be some kind of a threat to you, you don't want to hurt it, you don't want to use any kind of weapons or anything like that, you can use the strobe to kind of freak it out, and more than likely it's going to run away, okay? Especially if it's nighttime, it's not going to have any idea what's going on, it's going to get scared, and it's going to boogie, and then you are now safe and sound. So yeah, just wanted to give you a quick rundown. I've been loving this light. It is just incredibly bright. It's a whole lot of light for the price tag. It does have a slight crenulated bezel, all right? Not so much for defensive striking, although you can use it for that, but it's more so if you leave the flashlight on, you know, place it down, you'll be able to see that it's on. This does also have wings on the side with the spot for the wrist lanyard, or if you want to put another lanyard on there. Again, important for some people because it tail stands, all right? In the case that you lose power in your house or something, you want to turn it on, just to have like an area light, you know, hits the ceiling and bounces all over the place. It's just an awesome feature. I've touched upon this in so many different flashlight videos for, you know, survival type lights that I'll keep in drawers and bags for things like when the power goes out. That's a must-have. It just has to be able to tail stand for that purpose, all right? So having those little wings protects that button, not only so it doesn't accidentally get pressed too. If you have this loose in the bag, it's less likely to, you know, turn on accident because you have that barrier. But for me, it's all about that tail stand, okay? And I have a very uneven table under here, so it's even easier on a normal flat table. So there you go. There's the Thrunite TT20. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section, what flashlight are you rocking? Tell me the brand, the model, what you think of it, maybe things you like about it, things you don't like about it. I know guys that buy new flashlights every single week. I know guys that had the same flashlight for the last, 10, 15 years. If you find it, very useful to have a flashlight on you, that's awesome. And I just like to hear which one you enjoy. Honestly, I revisit old flashlights all the time, and some of them are nowhere near as capable as something like this, but they're still cool, they still work, and they might have modes that I like, So that's it. Hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Take care.